The Monkey and the Apples. There once lived a free-spirited monkey in a beautiful jungle. He spent his days wandering the jungle, climbing trees, eating delicious fruits, and resting. One day, while wandering around, he came very close to the nearby village. He looked inside a house in the village and saw a ball of red ripe apples. He couldn't hold his urge to eat those beautiful-looking fruits, so he grabbed one in each hand and ran back into the forest. He sniffed the apples, but it smelled nothing. He tried to eat them, but he hurt his teeth. These apples were made of wood, but they looked delicious. When the other monkeys of the jungle saw the apples, he held onto them even tighter. He proudly admired his new possessions as he wandered the jungle. The wooden apples glistened red in the sun and seemed perfect to him. He was so enticed by them that he even forgot about his hunger. He was walking near a fruit tree when the smell of the ripe fruit reminded him of his hunger. He wanted to grab a ripe banana and eat it, but he had the apples in his hands. He couldn't let go of the wooden apples to reach for the bananas. He was too afraid to lose the apples and felt the need to protect it. The monkey was very proud of the apples, but he was definitely less happy monkey while he continued to walk along the forest trails. As he held the apples longer, it started to feel heavier. The poor little monkey thought about keeping it down for a while, but letting go of such a valuable thing seemed crazy. The poor monkey was unhappy. He was exhausted, hungry, and he couldn't climb trees or collect fruit with his hands full. More he looked at the fruits in the jungle, more he grew hungry. He finally gave up and dropped the wooden apples and reached up for his meal. He was happy again. Like the little monkey, we sometimes carry things that seem too valuable to let go. We humans too seem to carry and hold on to our image, pride, possessions, wealth, and status, but forget to enjoy the most important things in life: love, compassion, friends, and family. Story name: When the Wind Blows. Once there lived a farmer who owned a land along the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. Even after letting out several advertisements for recruitment to take care of his farm, no one seemed to sign up for it. People were reluctant to work along the Atlantic. It had frequent raging storms. These storms were cruel, violent, and destroyed every building and crop field they touched. After months of advertising and request refusals, a man approached the farmer for the job to take care of the farm. "Do you have any skills or experience to work on a farm like this?" the farmer asked him. "Well, I may not have enough experience, but I can sleep when the wind blows," replied the man. Although the farmer wasn't much convinced by the man's answer, the farmer was too desperate to have someone to help him on the field that he hired him anyway. The man worked well around the farm. The farmer was pretty satisfied with the man. Then one stormy night, the wind howled, waking the farmer. The farmer immediately got off his bed, grabbed a lantern, and headed towards the quarter where his helper was sleeping. "Wake up!" the farmer yelled, throwing the soundly asleep man off the bed. "A storm is coming. Tie things down before they get blown away." The man sat up and said, "No, sir. I told you, I can sleep when the wind blows." The farmer turned red with fury after listening to this. He controlled all his will to fire the man, because at the moment it was more important to secure his fields and barn than to argue with his helper. The farmer ran out to tie the things up and was surprised by what he saw. All of the haystacks were covered with tarpaulins. The chickens were in the coops, the cows were in the barn, the doors were closed and barred, and the shutters were firmly secured. Everything was tied down so that nothing could be blown away. The farmer smiled as he comprehended what his employer said. Now, he understood what the man meant by when he said he could sleep when the wind blows. He went off to bed and slept soundly through the storm. Moral of the story is, when you are prepared, physically, mentally, and spiritually, you have nothing to fear. Can you sleep when the wind blows through your life? Story name: The Real Meaning of Peace. There once lived a king who announced to prize the artist who would paint the best painting depicting peas. Many great painters sent the king several of their best art pieces. One of the pictures among the various masterpieces was of a calm lake perfectly mirroring peacefully towering snow-capped mountains. Overhead was a blue clear sky with fluffy clouds. The picture was perfect. Most of the people who viewed the pictures of peas from various artists thought that it was the best among all. But when the king announced the winner, everyone was shocked. The picture which won the prize had a mountains too, but it was rugged and bare. The sky looked very angry, there were lightning. This did not look peaceful at all. It looked like the artist has mistakenly submitted his painting depicting stone rather than peas. But if anyone looked closely at the painting, he could see a tiny bush growing in the cracks in the rock. In the bush a mother bird had built her nest. In the midst of the rush of angry weather, the bird sat on her nest with peas. The peace does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise or trouble. Peace means to be in the midst of all the chaos and still be calm in the heart. The real peace is the state of mind, not the state of the surroundings. The mother bird at her calm, despite her chaotic surrounding, indeed was the best representation for peace. Story name: The Precious Stone. There once lived a kind woman in a mountain. One fine morning the woman was strolling along the mountain path. On her way, she saw a shiny stone in a stream. It was a beautiful stone, so she took it with her. After a few days a traveler was walking along the same path when he felt very weak and exhausted. The woman noticed the traveler and offered him with food and a shelter on her modest hut for a night. The next day, when the man was getting ready to continue his journey, he noticed a shiny little stone in a drawer. At once he knew that the stone was very rare and precious. The traveler offered to buy the stone from the woman. But the woman told him that he could have it for free without any hesitation. The man then thanked the woman and left rejoicing his good fortune. He knew the stone was worth a fortune to give him security for a lifetime. After a few days, the traveler came back to the woman and returned the stone. I know how valuable this stone is, but I give it back to you in hope that you can give me something even more precious. Give me what you have within you that enabled you to give this precious stone to me, he said. We will come up with some other interesting short stories. Till then, take care and be happy.